Welcome back to Pfispeed. As you guys know, we've been cranking. We are getting ready right now to go to FL2K this weekend. So Jamie's down there in Florida and he's prepping things out. And I've been working hard to get the Freedom Civic done because as our race with Jared comes up, I want to make sure we're tested and that this car is going to work perfectly and that we can try and hopefully win this race and show what the Freedom Civic's really capable of. So I'm super excited to bring you guys that kind of content, but I gotta work hard to get there. This episode is so rad because we've got Kevin from KSR in this episode. Can't wait to bring you guys that content. It was super rad that Kevin could help Jamie out and get him set up with exactly the manifold setup that we were needing. I know Jamie is super stoked. I also want to bring you guys some of the stuff I've got done on the Freedom Civic. So I'm going to kind of mash up this video. We're going to have some fun with it and we're going to continue to work hard for you guys. As you guys know, eBay Motors has sponsored us and helped us out on the Freedom Civic. It was a car they originally did with Tavares. They really want to see it succeed. So they've supported us and told us, hey, get after it, build something awesome. And so that's exactly what we're going to do. But as soon as I'm done with that, I'm gonna get back on Sho'nuff. As you guys know, I got the front suspension in and I wanna get that all on there. And then I gotta keep combing the car. I still gotta address the firewall and the clutch movement. It is better, but it's not as tight as I want it to be. So we'll work through that. It's part of the adventure, part of figuring things out, and I enjoy it thoroughly. And keep working on the content and making it better and better for you. So guys, let's get to the video and let's have some fun.
What's going on, guys? I know you see we got Sam moved down to Florida. We got all her stuff upstairs. Her and Eric headed out to Georgia, go get away from the storm. We got Brent on a plane and got him heading home, keep working, getting some stuff done. I've got the fab work that needs done for the new turbo, so I stayed down. Got some stuff to do with Derek's car and everything, but with the storm, there wasn't a lot we could do. To keep everything safe, I brought the truck and trailer and the car and everything up to Gainesville. Stayed last night and now I'm going a little stir crazy. Kevin from KSR is gonna help us with the fabrication tomorrow. So I've just gotta get a couple things done. Gonna be working on getting this turbo kit off and kind of start mocking up some stuff. You know, working in the trailer isn't the easiest thing. Pull the bumper off, pull the straps up. I'll get this thing up on jack stands real quick. Drain the oil so that we can pull the turbo off because the return line would let a bunch of oil leak. Get that drained, start pulling turbo kit parts off of it. Just get it ready for tomorrow, you know, so we're not wasting a lot of time over at Kevin's.
Oh man, made it back to the shop. Shane had found some problems. Oh my gosh.
This was the PPG shaft. That shared.
Not the shaft.
The other side was this one. So this wasn't, once that broke, this wasn't really getting hit so much, but we toasted the cap, so I need a new cap made. Those are pretty good.
Oh my gosh.
And I can't get it to shim right now, so I'm trying to figure that out.
We may be able to weld it up and have it turn back
right
down.
On, but it probably doesn't
I don't know
have as
though.
much pressure as that one.
Oh, cause this is the,
Yeah.
so that's what you're trying to figure out now, huh?
Yeah, but I can't, so right now it spins pretty good, you know, but as soon as I tighten that nut, it
Locks up, so it's just not shimmed right. All right, well, maybe this could get welded up, turned back down. Cause this is a little billet cap, and we don't need it toasted. Yeah, I saw it launched like hard, and then it, then it like almost bunny hopped the back.
Yeah, so it launched all hard and picked the front tires up, so they spun to 5 miles an hour, and then the front came down and they just bit and broke the driver axle, and then it was pushing.
Are you saying you popped a wheelie?
Almost. It was really close. Really
Oh
close.
my God.
Steven zoomed in and it didn't quite come off the ground, but it was really close. Pushing myself rear-wheel drive and chewing up the T-case, and then once it lodged enough parts in underneath itself, it locked up, probably snapped the shaft. And
We'll get it apart and figure out a plan, and we'll get her fixed. And
yeah,
it's like, yeah, it's wild.
but
And then what'd you do?
I did a lot.
Let's check it out. So Steven's had shitbox racing in here while I was gone, and really went to work. Freedom Civic inspired you, huh?
Yeah.
Gave you a direction. I like the rear support. That looks good. So clean and empty up here now.
Yeah.
What else did you do? You said you did something else?
I started cutting.
Started to? Oh yeah. Making. Oh, you got that whole pocket out on yours.
Because the EG, it's just a it's a one-layer
You got
box.
the cage coming out because we're gonna recage this thing. We're gonna make it legit.
Yep.
You're gonna be all legit. You and your brother.
Too legit.
Freedom Civic over here. We got a little flat shoe. Get that aired up. I'm gonna figure out where I am and start trying to knock this out. All right, so we're gonna start by removing the turbo manifold. I'm gonna drill some holes. I'm gonna weld the EGT bungs on. And then once the EGT bungs are on, we can just finalize the turbo manifold, get it all done, and get the gate on, and everything will be ready with the turbo stuff. And then we can start building boost pipes. Although we're gonna have to wait for the new intercooler to show up from Enemy Creations. I'm gonna wait for that to build the boost pipes, but I can get everything else mounted up and finalize the oil return line on, the oil line on, and we can get the booster all set up. So let's start on that now. Try to knock this out. All right guys, so I started by drilling all my holes and I just tacked in the bungs. I have them placed a little bit off the port and then just at a good angle, just so they're easy to work on. For example, this one here, if this one would have been able to mount straight in, it would have been like a crazy angle like this, you know, and then that would be in the cylinder head. So I'll go ahead and get these all finish welded, and then I just got one more bung to put in here for a back pressure, and then this is good to go. All right, EGTs are welded, good. Now I've drilled the hole for the back pressure. I've got a little 1/8 stainless fitting. I got this little Honda thing just to kind of aim me. So I'm gonna put that in there, tack weld it, and then I'll have a back pressure sensor set up. So that'll be the last of the stuff I need to do, the manifold, and then we can go ahead and put it on.
What we're gonna start with now, we're gonna go ahead and get the turbo coming off, because I want to try and put the new turbo onto the intercooler, see where it sits here. I don't think we're gonna have enough room for just doing an adapter on this manifold. I think we're gonna have to go ahead and do the other manifold. But we'll go ahead and we got to undo this guy, unplug the wideband, undo the feed. I already undid the return when I drained the oil. We'll go ahead and start getting this turbo off real quick and see what we look like. All right, so as you can see, we've got our new Apex turbo out here. This is our Precision, so this is the next gen 73.985. They just came out with the new version. It's the next gen R. We haven't personally tried that on anything, but you can tell the Mean Street turbo, which is a 6469.9, is the same frame size. You can see the difference in the size of the wheel. You can see the difference in the design of the wheel, but frame size. So this is the biggest problem. It's the same frame size, everything's good, but you can see our Precision is V-band onto our manifold, and the Apex is T4, and it's an open T4, not a divided. So this is our biggest problem we've got right now. If it wasn't for that, this would probably just be a hot swap, bolt it right on. But we're gonna have to change some stuff, and I don't want to chop this manifold up because there is a lot of races we're gonna be running the Precision on the car still. All right guys, so we've got the Apex turbo attached to the intercooler here. That thing is looking fresh. So we got the other manifold off. This is a manifold that we had built and we aren't using. So what we're gonna do, this is basically the same design as mine. So we're gonna lop the V-band off when we get over to Kevin's. We'll figure out where the 3-inch mark is on it, because we're gonna build this elbow out of 3-inch. We've got T4 to 3-inch adapter, or not adapter, but flange that will bolt onto here, and then we'll start making the elbow here. Now I'm gonna check the exhaust real quick, see if the flange is the same, and see if our exhaust will make it through the hole real quick. All right. So it looks like, as long as we have the intercooler sitting where we need it, and we have all the angles right, looks like our exhaust is gonna work. between both turbos. So this is kind of how, you know, I'm not a fabricator, but this is how I would judge it. I would get it like this, figure out where the 3-inch point is on here, lop that off, then we can start finding our angle here, get that piece built, then it's pretty much a wastegate provision and nut pipe for the wastegate. Nice good jump start to get it ready for tomorrow, save us some time tomorrow. And I was going stir crazy not doing anything. This helped a lot. So I'm gonna get everything strapped back down and I'll check in with you guys tomorrow.
All right, so I just took the gate apart, just wanted to check what springs were in it, and it looks like we've got a 7-pound outer and a 7-pound inner. I've got a purple and a black, and I've got a white and a black. And according to their chart, that's 7 each, so 14 pounds, I guess that's a decent start. Put it back together and we should be good to go. All right, so Shane's over here getting the manifold put on, and that is looking cool. We got our EGTs in there now. We'll just get them tidied up as soon as we get that all tight. And then we'll get the gate clocked where it needs to be. Left the bolt a little loose so I can rotate it around. And then we'll get the turbo put together. You can see the wastegate tump tube. I'm just gonna have to do like a little 90, and that should turn out real nice. I got the oil drain clocked right there, and it comes down through here. And it's coming down into here. We got to pull the pan off. We're going to change that fitting to a 12. Notice that this fitting wasn't any good, so I'm just going to take it off and get that done. Steven's pulling pan bolts right now. But the turbo stuff's pretty much on there. The EGTs look great.
Well guys, next morning, and as you can see, it's sunshine and rainbows here. And we made it over to Kevin's shop.
What's up, everybody?
We appreciate the help, sir.
No problem.
I've never actually made it over to your shop. I didn't make it this far on sick week.
Oh yeah, y'all had problems.
Yep. Yeah, split that block. We didn't make it here, but Shane and everybody else did. So
Yeah.
I knew this
we
was
had
a good
weld
place
up
to
a
come.
control arm or something for that.
Yep.
But hopefully we got a sick week party again next year.
Yeah.
Because it's the same tracks again.
Yep.
So, and I think next year the order's kind of reversed. Like we end up at South Georgia and then back at Gainesville. So
Gotcha.
that's a short drive. So maybe we'll have a party again. You can
Yeah.
see we like doing burnouts. Well, you can't really tell on the road anymore.
Yeah.
We do burnouts all over the place here.
Heck yeah, I love it.
So we got to mount a turbo or something, huh?
Yep.
Or at least make some piping. Or...
Yep. Yeah, not too much, but definitely something I can't do, especially in the trailer. And I'm not much of a welder, so.
Get her unloaded and we'll get her in the shop.
Yeah, I'll show you what we got going on.
Like an Egyptian.
All right, so Kevin's starting with cutting that V-band off of the manifold. So we
Yeah, I had to
can.
break out the old chop saw because it wouldn't quite fit in my new one. Probably not the safest way to do it, but it worked.
Now we can try and find that 3-inch spot on that.
We might end up pitching it just a little bit.
Yep.
So I think we'll bolt this back on. I'll grind that flashing off.
Sounds good.
And we'll bolt that back on, and then we can... Actually, we need to wedge this too so that it stays.
Oh no, I got a ratchet strap on it.
Oh, perfect. Heck yeah, that'll work.
So the
Even
turbo,
better.
basically we got everything hooked up to the turbo. So the cold side is where it needs to be. The hood comes down over the exhaust. So now we can just build right to it.
Perfect.
I love it. All right, so I think Kevin was digging through his, cut off pieces and might have found the perfect stuff here instead of cutting up that brand new piece.
Yeah, if we can save us some time here, like looking at it, we put it down just a little bit. And we know this is straight here, so that's easy enough to shorten and just tuck it up onto there so that we're about maybe a little over a 1/4 inch off right there.
Yeah.
But like literally, those two kind of look pretty good.
Yeah.
I got to square this pipe up, and then once we get it nice fitting, we'll come back and draw a Sharpie mark around it and then cut it right off right to our line, and
Yeah.
everything will be good.
I like it. All right, so he's got these pieces coming in pretty nice. He's almost lined up.
We're getting there.
Started notching back here. Just bring it up on that collector.
Yeah, we got a little gap right there. I feel like if I go in with this, then it fixes that gap right there that I got. So, getting close.
I'm liking it.
Took me a little minute to get to that, but we've got something to work with there. Well, now the fun part of actually making everything permanent.
Yeah.
Cool deal. Well, I'm gonna start welding some stuff together.
I expect total silence. There is an artiste on stage.
Yeah, that's what we've been going for. That's what we've been changing on this whole turbo kit, is just opening stuff up there to flow more.
Definitely should help, because I mean, the way I've always thought about turbo stuff, you look at what your small size is, which is the turbo, and you want to just bring the engine to that size. You never want to go smaller,
Yeah,
because then you're just creating a funnel. I mean, maybe that doesn't work, but
yeah,
it makes sense to me.
yeah. That's how we've been thinking about it.
Yeah.
So we're all on the same page then.
All right, let's hog her out some more. Definitely blow that out before we're done. That opened her up even more.
Yeah.
That looks better. Worst part about grinding on stuff,
Getting it all over you.
I now have it all in my socks.
Florida life. I was wearing shorts.
Sweet, by the time we
Tack and
knock these flats in, I think
Yeah.
we're really, really good.
heck yeah.
Hook the welder up, drag the welder over. We'll tack it in as many spots as we can get it. I'll probably tack the two pieces together first. And then that way when it fits in, we'll just go from there. But I'll tack those two together, and then we'll tack it to here and hopefully as many spots as I can get so it doesn't twist at all.
Yeah.
And then we'll take it out and tape up the ends to back purge it and go to town.
Sounds good. Then we're on to the easy part of welding it.
Yeah,
Prep work's always the longest, hardest part.
that is for sure.
It always sounds real easy. You know, I'm sending you pictures. Yeah, see, we just got to go from there to there, little elbow.
Piece of cake.
Here's my favorite part.
Let's make some stuff permanent.
The first tack.
There she is. Now it holds itself in place.
Yeah.
Just go ahead and pop it out of there. Cool, so I'm gonna go take this to the bench, weld it up fully. Snaps in place there, we're on our mark there.
All right, now the trunk's becoming part of the flange.
Making it more permanent.
So now it's officially a T4 manifold.
Yeah. Now, the question is, do I want to just go ahead and send it on the whole thing? I think I don't. Like, I think I'm going to go ahead and weld the flange to it.
All right, now this is gonna be the final, getting the manifold all together.
One tack. Gotta at least try to get 3 to completely hold it.
Yeah, so it doesn't try to pull in one direction.
Yeah, that's my goal. But not a bunch, because I don't want to sugar the inside of it if I can help it.
I think we'll be all right. Kevin's marking for our bung for the back pressure.
Yep.
And then we were looking at gate, so we're putting a 60 on here now instead of a 44.
Big boy.
So Kevin was wanting to put a little lean to it that way, just help the flow from the manifold go into it a little smoother.
So the pipe needs to end up here, it looks like?
Yep,
a little bit
much
behind
next to
this.
it.
Okay.
All right, so start of a wastegate provision here.
Yeah, it's something. Actually, might not be too bad.
Yeah, kind of looks like you meant to do that.
Yeah, peel this out a little bit. Cool. So then what we'll do is we'll tack this, set it back in the car, and make sure that everything clears, or if we need to swivel this around.
Yeah.
And then draw us a scribe line, and hopefully everything fits like it's supposed to. I'm gonna go grab
Make all this seem very easy.
Been doing it a little while, I guess.
Yep. All right, so the wastegate provision is just tacked on right now. Just gonna double check that everything fits real quick, right? That's what we're going for?
Yep.
Okay.
Just want to tighten that up, and I'm gonna hold the wastegate up in place and make sure the wastegate clears everything. It's got 1/8 of an inch.
Sounds good to me.
And that's before it.
Yeah, it's before it sucks
before
it down
it
on the
clamps.
fire ring.
Sweet. I'm pretty happy with that.
All right.
And then I think we'll be able to get a pipe up right beside it, nice and easy. In fact, let's just mock that up. Where's our
Alright.
Try to be one step ahead of the next step. Look at there. Come up right beside it.
Sure dang. That was meant to be.
It's like we know what we're doing.
Yeah, so this is the Viper they're going road racing with. We've been hanging out under it all day. It's an odd pair right there. Civic and a Viper. What's going on in your shop here?
But you know what? Which one makes more horsepower?
Yeah.
That one.
Kevin got the bung for the back pressure on there. So it looks like we are all done here. The wastegate provision came out great. You know, it's got a lot better priority than it used to have. I'm very happy with this. I'm happy that we changed to a bigger gate, you know, get a little better control with this small turbo. But that was exactly what we were looking for. So we're gonna bolt the turbo to the manifold and then put the manifold on. Then we can do the up pipe for the wastegate and then probably make one little tab to bolt it to the exhaust, and then we're all set here. All right, so got the wastegate on, we got our back pressure on. I've got to still put the EGT box in it, but I've got the EGT sensors in and tight so that we don't have an exhaust leak there. I still need to put my fittings in and plumb all of my wastegate, but that's not gonna affect us starting it. And now Kevin's got an up pipe going. We're probably gonna have to cut the hole in the hood a little bit, but we don't mind that.
Race car.
Yep. Man, I'm so stoked how this new turbo is going on here, and how this manifold just seems so much more flowy compared to what it was with that 3-inch there. Now keep in mind, we just fixed the other manifold and took it from 2 1/4 to 2 3/4. Now this one is 3 inch, so we added even more, and we added the bigger wastegate like Brent was wanting me to do. So we're really trying here. You're on the last weld, Kevin.
Final piece.
Final piece of the puzzle. So if you guys remember back when we broke the wastegate off the one time, we didn't have anything attached in the wastegate dump tube to the up pipe. So it just had this big long lever bouncing it around until it cracked it off. So we started putting tabs across between the two of them, and then, you know, I put my big strap around there, that big worm clamp. He's gonna get a new piece of strap on there, bolt that down, and then I think we're about ready to fire this thing up. But if it runs and goes into the trailer, then we at least feel like we had a successful day. You know, if there's no prize at the end, you don't really feel like you did anything. If we pushed it into the trailer, who would be happy with that? We're all set here. I think we get to fire it up finally.
Heck yeah.
I really appreciate the help, man.
No problem.
You know, with the hurricane down here and everything, you came in clutch.
Yeah, it worked out good that it didn't get to us nearly as bad as it did some other people.
You telling me that you could do this really gave me the opportunity to get somewhere where it wasn't bad.
Gotcha.
You know, it gave me a plan and had me head north, so.
I think we're doing good on the old race car stuff.
Yeah.
Time to see if it cranks.
Yeah, fire it on up.
Yeah. All right, let's see if she still runs.
Alright, it runs. We got good oil pressure. Let's get the methanol smell out of his shop real quick. Alright. Alright guys, we got the manifold all done, got everything buttoned up, the car drove back into the trailer, so that's always a successful day right there. Yep. So, cut this right here, bro. So now that we got that done, we've just got a little bit of buttoning up to do. We've got to go to Joel Tavares's place on Monday and get an alignment. I've got, you know, some lines to run and everything, but I can do that out of the trailer. But man, thank you for opening your shop up and firing your welder up and taking care of us.
Yep.
It's really a big help. I love this little community we got going and all the help we have wherever we go. Guess we're on to racing here pretty soon. We've got a couple other things to fix, but we'll see you guys at the track soon.
Guys, sorry, I've been working away and I didn't share this with you. I've been working on the EGTs. So the EGTs came super long and I needed to shorten them. So I know some people are nervous and scared to get inside these, so I wanted to show you what was inside. So inside your EGT, once you take this little cap off, take these little screws, you loosen them, and then you pull the wires out. And that was the piece I just had in my hand. I trimmed this back. I put the rubber boot back on here. Now I'm gonna take a razor blade and open up this shielding here, and then I'll expose the two wires. And I got a red and I got a yellow. And on here, the red one is gonna go to the minus, which is the thicker pin here. And the yellow is gonna go to the plus here, which is the thinner pin right here. So I'm gonna go ahead and get those hooked up, and our EGTs will be much shorter, and then we can fit in the little EGT box, and then that'll all be tidied up. EGTs are a great way to balance the cylinders, and that's why I went with them, because the wideband will give you your overall, and this will let you know what each hole is doing, so you can trim them and get them right. So, all right, so we've got the wires in now. We got to put the boot on and put the cover on, and then this will be good to go.
Hey, Steven, you got them good.
What?
The pepper.
Oh.
She just texted us. Which one of you unscrewed the pepper, Jimmy? Every time we have dinner at Mom's, we do something with the pepper and the salt. One time we put salt in the pepper. Steven unscrewed the lid this time.
And ruined her whole meal.
The whole meal. It's covered in it.
Oh my gosh. So you had a bad day.
Never had you out.
All right, so EGTs now are mounted and right off to the side and look all neat and tidy. Maybe we could use a tie wrap right here and back here, but looks pretty good. You can see here too where I turned the old VTEC oil pressure and the old oil pressure light into an oil pressure sensor here. So there's that too, and that's tied into those two Deutsch plugs. I don't know, Steven, that's looking pretty nice for old chip box racing.
I know.
What are you doing? You're gonna get kicked out of your own club. Well, I got the pan off, and it looks like we've still got the balance shaft oil pump in this thing, so I guess that's gonna ride out. Just a little stock K20Z or something is in this thing. We'll find out more later. All right, so Steve got the pan back on, the return line on. Things are coming together good. All right, so I went ahead and did the back pressure sensor right here. And then that copper line runs over to this sensor right here. And then that'll read the back pressure, and then the coils kind of dampen it out. I kind of got to work that a little bit and put some P-clamps on it and straighten it out, but that's the back pressure, and that's going to work good. Well, guys, I hope you enjoyed the video. Can't thank Kevin and KSR enough for helping us out, really stepping up for Jamie, and he knocked it out of the park. That manifold turned out beautiful. Super stoked to have the manifold back on the Freedom Civic. I hope me showing you guys how to do the EGTs makes you a little more comfortable. And I'm gonna continue to share more and more with you guys as we go. As we get into the tuning stuff, I'm gonna show you guys completely how to set up all these sensors so that you too could set it all up at home and really give yourself all the data and get your car rocking too. But I believe that's gonna do it for this episode, guys. We appreciate you guys watching. Give us a like, subscribe, and I'll see you guys all tomorrow, and I'll keep these videos coming.